It's interesting how I was always intelligent and I was always really sensitive. I didn't have anyone around me to really teach me what that means or how awesome that is. I really just had people around me that wanted me to shut up and listen. Just call me stupid. What the fuck are you doing? Things like that. But you get older and you realize all that stuff was meant for a reason. It kind of built you up in a way so you can be where you are now. But it's just funny. You get smarter as you get older. You realize that people, they try to handle you. They try to guide you this way, that way. I don't know if they think you don't know, and maybe you didn't know for a big portion of your life. But, it's like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? How do you have time to focus like that? I don't understand. I barely even think about other people. It's like, not in a rude way, but I would never try to, manipulate someone, to guide someone, to control their life in a certain way. Even if you think you're doing what's best for them, it's like you gotta figure out eventually that you need to just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Because what happens is, it's like whack-a-mole. If they come into their real knowing, and they're just gonna squeeze out through your fingers, and then everyone's gonna be, that was trying to handle you, is gonna be standing around with their thumbs stuck up their ass like, fuck. As you slip away into this better life, and then all they can do is just watch you. And that's kind of their karma and your kind of blessing or that kind of stuff. But it's like all they really had to do was be on your side, quell their jealousy, quell their fear of not knowing things about you, because maybe you're a quiet person, you don't just whatever. You just had to slow down and realize you're actually a blessing. If they would slow down, they would see all the benefit that's happening as they're working against me. Now imagine if they had the foresight to work with me, if they had the balls to come to me, real, and tell me what happened, what's going on. No, that's not going to happen. They're going to take it to the grave. And that's what's meant to happen. That's their karma. You can't even get mad at them. Because they're doing the best that they know how to do. That's all they know how to do, Group up with people and blah, 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 blah. And they don't understand how you just slip through the cracks. So you're not thinking about them at all. The most you're ever thinking about is like something like this, like right now, while you're just trying to express your thoughts. Instead of just thinking in my head, I express it on my social media, because I'm sure that other people can benefit from these little talks, whatever it is, you know what I mean? I have benefited from other people, listening to other people on YouTube, so it's kind of goes downhill. Now I'm becoming one of those people that other people can benefit from. It's like we're all lifting each other up, people that are lifting each other up, separating ourselves slowly from the people who are grouping and trying to control. There's going to be a shift. If I'm going to get all technical, the realities are shifting. They're going to be going to their planet, and we're going to be on our planet. Now this is always happening. You shift realities just to make movement. So when people, and you manifest just to make movement. So when people say like, oh, I manifested this, or I can't, you're manifesting 100% all the time. You can't not manifest. It's just, do you know what goes behind making it a preferred manifestation? Can you get your horse in front of your car? But you are always manifesting. It's always smirk when I hear it. You know how it is. A new fad comes on and everyone's like about manifestation. This has been for years. You hear them talk and it's like, well, at least they're on to it. At least they know it's a thing. But they're way off what it's about. You're always manifesting. Always. It's not low, oh, I'm going to manifest this thing. It's not. Really not works. Now, maybe really strong beliefs that's kind of how it works. The universe will show you that it kind of works that way. But there is more to it. There's more under it. better, there's a more efficient way, more truer way to go about it. Well, I'm going off on a tangent. I just want to talk about handlers and people who think they are controlling your lives. And it's like, what? I don't know what to say. It's like, oh my God. It really, the cool thing is, it all worked out for me. And it was always working out for me. Always. This is true for everybody, every relationship. And I don't just mean in the relationship, just people relationships, you know what I mean? Just this and that. It's always working out for you. Always. You, and me. It is all. But once you figure out that it's always working out for you, and you actually have had enough life experience to be like, oh shit, it is on me. Then you just hit the afterburners, and any handlers are just gonna fucking be left with fucking shit, a shit mustache. You know what I mean? They're just gonna be like, oh, what's that smell? Shit, man, what's that smell? Oh God, it's on my oh, you know, there's no hate and there's no. And that's what keeps you rising. If you've lived enough experience not to be caught. Because, you know, you can get into revenge mode. And this is the best thing. And they don't know what to do when you don't. Because before I even came into this new little area, I already had a firm belief that what other people think about me is none of my business. And I have momentum of years behind this belief. So, I don't retaliate. I just go about my business. And you can tell it throws them for a loop. It fucks up all their plans. And they think it's good at first because they can spin shit and do shit because they know you're not going to say anything. But it doesn't work out in the end because they need the reactions and stuff. That's for their end game. And they're caught kind of like in the wind. Like, well, why doesn't he care? Why doesn't he try to, defend himself? Because I'm smarter than you. Because I've had enough life experience to be smarter than you. Now, you could have more life experience and end up smarter than me. It's not like a competition. It just happens to be where it is right now. You're in your area of life, and I'm in my area. I'm rising and leaving, and you guys are grouping up and staying stagnant. What you guys don't understand, and this is for the whole world, is all these little games that used to work. Take your poison, any little manipulation game, they're not working in here anymore, which is why corporations are falling, which is why all the troops are coming out from the rug, which is why this is falling, this is why this is happening, this happening. It's because they're not working anymore, and so people are scrambling. I don't know what's going on, because we have shifted to my 5D reality, and others. We're there. And you didn't know. We slipped it under you. You're still doing the same shit, but it's going to dig you deep and deeper into a hole. So deep that you can even get clicked over back into the dense reality. You're probably already there already because of the way the shared world works. What are you going to do? But, again, it all works out. It's all working out. Even the people who are getting fucked now because they they slandered or tried to spin narratives or group up with people to do this or do that. But it's still working out for them. Even if they're just getting ramrodded, and they're just evil, it's still working out for them. Everything that's happening to you is exactly what needs to happen to you, no matter how bad it is. Pick anything. The most horrendous thing, and I'm just looking at your face and be like, it's what's meant to happen. It's where you are, and these things that are happening to you is what you need to eventually learn to get to where you need to go. Who knows how long that's going to be, and who knows where you want to go. You don't know, deep down we don't know as a general, any individual person what they wanted to experience when they came down here. So you can't really be like, well, this is that, this is that, you know what I mean? Everything's working out. If it even works out. One of my things I love saying, I don't know if I coined it, but I love it, it's what is better than having everything always working out for you? What's better than that? There's one thing that's better than that. There's one thing that's better than having everything always working out for you 100% of the time. Guess what's happening? What's better than it is knowing that that's the truth? It's happening for you if you know it or not. But if you know it, it's so much more efficient, so much smoother. Trees get out of the way. You get to fucking put the pedal to the metal. If you don't know it, you're gonna get colder sacked around. You can bounce off this, bounce off that, lose this, gain that, lose this, fuck this, cry this, that, blah, 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 blah. But it's all just the universe just marionetting you to get you to where you say you wanted to do when you came down to this earth. Always working out for you. So what is better than having it always working out for you is knowing it's always working out for you. I don't know if I coined that, but I always say that. And that's just the case. It's just the case. While I'm sitting here, my fucking fan, sweating my balls off, but free. Maybe not where I want to be. I'd rather be in an air-conditioned house with some space and free time to really be creative. Not fucking doing what I'm doing now. Although that's still a little harsh because I love where I'm at now. No, it's right where I need to be. And the independence and the freedom, this is way better than being under someone's thumb or being with someone that you know what they're doing, but you're just kind of biding your time because you can't. You know, these narcissists, as soon as you call them out, you can see them get all flustered. They don't even know what to say, you know? It's funny. They just, when you make them confront themselves, it's dissonance. It's like, it's an electric thing, it's an energy. And it portrays itself with them being hurly-burly and flustered and red-faced and stammering, you know? It's funny. But everything is always working out, so you can always take that to the grave. Just relax. I'm fortunate that I have a fan. I'm fortunate that I have a roof over my head. I'm fortunate that I have my health. I have all this stuff going for me. Even if someone will look at my life on the outside and be like, well, damn, he has nothing. You know what I mean? That's not how I see it. I can see myself rising up out of this muck. I'm already out of the muck. And I'm just kind of shaking off my feathers right now. And it's splashing over all the little bitches' faces. That's a little harsh. This is how my mind works. I'll never let myself get too mean. Even to people who I know need to be punched in the face. I never let myself get too rude and mean because I have the compassion. Because I have been multiple people in my life. I have been the people that, I've never been a manipulator, at least not like that. But, you know, I've been not that good of a person, a heavy drinker, and just whatever. Not that it's not, I've been there. I've seen myself change, so I know that other people are going through their changes. You just, anger and stuff like that doesn't last very long. So when I say, you know, little bitches or whatever, I always in my head, well, that's a little harsh. You know. Everything's happening how it's supposed to be. So, and now you kind of just sit and you're poised to watch the show. You know? You have gained a level of unfuckableness and knowing of reality where you see what they're doing. They keep trying to use the same dumb tricks. Except now you're even more intelligent and even more knowing how to react and how to stay emotionally stable and not, because they come at you and you can feel their energy. You can feel it wash over you, and it can almost make you feel like you want to do stupid shit. But if you had enough experience, you just let that slide off the whole of your shit. You just slip right through, and they wonder, and then then you can see everyone trying to change their and nobody wants to tell you the truth. Nobody wants to come up to you. Nobody has the balls. I do. I've done it before. No one has the balls to come and say, well, I was wrong. I did this and I did this because of this. And I'm sorry. And well, no one can do that. So what they do, they just take it to the grave, or they'll just start acting nicer to you. And they expect that to be the apology. And I'm not looking for an apology. Don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit. That's their choice. That's what they do. They just act like nothing ever happened. And now everything's good. But they don't understand that you're so real that you see them as actors. You know what I mean? You can just hear the voice and be like, wow, they're fake. You can't tell them that, because some people might not even know they're fake this. They don't even know. A lot of people do. Some people don't even know. So if you tell them they're fake, they're gonna get burly, you know what I mean? You just gotta let them do their thing. No harm done, really, because it all works out for me. It all works out for you. Everything that's supposed to happen is happening. It's like as soon as we make choices, God or the universe, the moving image of eternity, source energy, infinite intelligence, bam, it's already mapped out infinite tracks of where it could go, where it could be. And if you do this, they know to do that, and then you do this. So it's always working out. Marionette, they got it. They got it. You're not being controlled. It's not like that. Free will is very important. It's hard to understand until you get there. And you might. And I picked a good time, I think, to come into this because so many people are coming into this kind of understanding now. It's like, and then you got all the fakes and stuff, but that just means that it's a rise of the thing happening. Because you know how fads are. A new thing goes on, and then you got the real people. You got the people who are not there yet, but they're real and they're rising. And you got people who don't know any of this, the masses. And then you got the people who are faking it because they see money in it. They see abundance and, I can be spiritualist. I can go on the internet and, help people. They really just want to get a little piece of that pie because they don't know they have their own infinite pie and to just be themselves and work themselves out. But them faking it is the path they need to do to learn who they are, and then it doesn't work, or at least not the way they want it to work. It's so funny. Everything works perfectly. Just perfectly. I never wanted to do this. 10, 15 years ago, wherever it was, when I first started listening to this stuff, when I first got an inkling that something else might actually be this rally, because that was a hard nose, If someone said anything was possible, but like, bullshit. I was hard nose. I was just like that. I was that kind of person, And I never thought I'd be here doing this. It's not something I strived for to get rich or anything like that. I spent years learning this stuff. I kept it hidden except for people who were very close to me. I couldn't get it hidden because I didn't want anyone to know I was doing this. It seemed crazy to me. But it seemed like I needed to follow it. Now, finally, years and years and years and years and years, I'm like, okay, I have proved it to myself in a scientific way, like Terence McKenna. I've lived it, I've practiced it, I've let experience show me that this is the case, and now I'm ready to talk and tell about it, but it just comes naturally now with my music. It's like everything's coming together naturally, perfectly. I didn't strive out to be this way. I hid it for so long. I hid it. I would not. 10 years ago, maybe my ex, however long ago, she would know because I'd have to, like my ex-best friend, they would kind of know. I could tell they just thought I was crazy. But now I bet they don't. Now, because they got the hindsight of seeing me go learn this stuff, go from this kind of person to this phase, and now they haven't seen me in so many years. If they happen to come across my videos, they're like, oh, so he wasn't really crazy. He was on. He's actually was smart enough the whole time, and he was figuring out the universe for himself. And I'm so glad I can talk about it now. I don't feel any anxiety. My confidence, I've never been this confident before. I've never been able, it's so funny, because now that I'm able to go up and talk to any girl that I want to, no, even a year ago, I was awkward, nervous, but I would do it, because I know if the pull was there, I would do it, but I was nervous, awkward, just so. Now, any person, you could be the highest celebrity in the world, you could be whoever, I can look them right in the eye and tell them my truth. Hey, look, I think there's something special about you. I'm kind of into you. Would you like to do it? Whatever. No, I could not do that before. And here's the kicker. Now that I can do that, I don't want to do it. It's not what it is even interesting. Yeah, I'm sure someone might come around or something. And that's how funny it is. Now that I have the confidence just to talk to whoever, be myself naturally, no worries. I don't even want to do it. It doesn't even come up. I just want to be by myself, not forever. Just want to do my own thing and keep seeing where this thread goes, wherever it's going to go. And I get a little excited when I think that all the people who are kind of doing whatever they're doing get to eventually see me in a life that they can only imagine. And then what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh, he really is. You really do create your own reality. Your thoughts really do create your own reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And I don't mean you think good and you get to make it better. No. It's an energetic, literal thing. Your thoughts. So you keep thinking, your belief, a thought that you keep thinking over and over again, they dictate what your reality shows for you. Now imagine the power of that. But the way it works is perfect. Because anything you believe, your reality will show it to you, right? So you think we'd be having this crazy reality of, oh, it's getting that way. But it's not. It's hard to change your belief. And it's the perfect case that it is so. It took me many years just to turn the ship around. You get Terence McKenna saying this probably for something else though, but this big whopping belief systems going before you even know what's going on, and then you want to hear someone come up to you right out of the bush, your thoughts create your own reality. And if you believe them, at least enough to like listen to them, then you go down that route. It's like turning a battleship with an oar. That's your battleship with all your belief systems that were kind of erroneous. And your little oar is this new hope that maybe it's this way. So you're trying to turn that battleship with this little oar made for a canoe. So eventually you get 2 oars. Eventually you get something else. Eventually the battleship loses 500,000 pounds or whatever, you know what I mean? It all just works out perfectly. Because if it was so super easy, I can see and I can extrapolate this to other people around the world. It would just wouldn't work out. It'd be stupid. The moment I thought, kind of had the inkling that let me look into this stuff, then I just believed it right away, and my reality just came to me differently. It'd just be so. We don't want it like that. We want it more. We want it to be this way, and it has to be this way. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't have worked out so perfectly if it wasn't so hard to change your beliefs. Why? Because everyone's beliefs that they have, even if they're working for them or not, is creating their reality, but they garner those beliefs through their life experience. Life experience is king. You go up to someone and say, you listen to what they're saying, and they're adamant about it, because now they could be saying it just because they're faking or this, but let's say they're saying it because their life experience showed them this is how it works, I'm just going to pick something, show them that hard work is what makes you worth something, that's a belief. Hard work is what the key is to success. And your worth is dictated by hard work. That's a belief that some people say, oh, I believe. Here's my belief. That's a belief you can't change. Before I say my belief, you can't change it fast because your life experience will show you that. So if I come to you and say, no, that's not the case, you'll be like, well, I see it every day. You see? So you can't. It's like, My belief is how good you feel is what you're worth. Your worth is how good you feel. The better you feel, the more you work. The harder you work. Not the harder you work. And people might look at me because I work, and it seems like I work hard. For someone who is whatever. And get a lot done, I lift a lot of shit, I move around. But I'm feeling good, so it's a breeze. And I have the belief that says, my worth is on how good I feel. Not on how hard I work. Not that I can't work, you know what I mean? And that's just one belief. Now imagine you have a battleship of who knows how many belief systems and ruts and cul-de-sacs and turns and all these belief structures. Imagine if you go on my YouTube page and you see the universe zoomed out, that all those, looks like the brain cells up there. I had the little mushroom and the main picture is the universe zoomed out super far. That's thought structures and beliefs. Changing those, and they are your reality. You see how it goes. And so it all works out perfectly. And so you have all these beliefs. I just showed one of them. That's hard to. And so I'm still in the same boat. My life experiences that showed me that this is the case. So if someone came up to me and said, no, I'd be like, well, it'd be hard for me to change your belief because my life experience now would show me that. But I also know that your life experience shows you whatever your truest beliefs are. And the weird thing is you might not even know your beliefs. I used to listen to Bashar all the time. Make sure you find out your core beliefs. And I would say in my head, I know my beliefs. How do I not know what I believe? And I would just shun it. I would go to another Bashar video or another video. But now I see he's right. You do not know. A lot of people do not know what they truly believe. If you look at their life, that shows you what they truly believe. How their life is working out. it's a thing. It's a thing we got going on here. It's some kind of grand thing. It's really fun. So I spend most of my days just practicing my craft, trying to appreciate, not just trying, really appreciating where I am now. I can tell I'm on the precipice of just a whole new life. Matter of fact, my whole new life is already, tendrils are already grabbing me. You know, I'm like, I've never been this confident, I've never been this healthy and fucking sexy, and once I dropped 50 pounds, I figured out that we don't need to eat as much. God, I was eating 70% too much my whole life, and I was never fat. Now imagine all the fat fucks out there. They're eating 300% too much. You know what I mean? I just winked at me too. But, I was always athletic looking, and you would never call me fat, but I was eating way too much. Way too much. And the thing is, you can't just, if I were to go back in time 10 years ago, my future, this self me, and I read this video, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me just eat less now. It doesn't work that way. You can't just cold turkey it, because you're just going to bounce back in a way you don't like. You got to kind of let your life just, let it run, and cold turkey it could be the way that you let your life run, because that, everything's always working out for you, so you need to experience that way to learn that it doesn't work, or whatever. Sitting there naked and shit, make sure I don't accidentally turn. I gotta watch the video and actually turn the camera somewhere. And my fucking nutsack on it. It's hot as shit, man. What happens is the heat bakes we paved paradise. The heat bakes the fucking street, and the street heat rises up under the bus. Heats up my floor, even though I insulated it. You know, but I've got this fan here, and it's running. And it's cool to bust down at nighttime at this time. You know, it's a really good time for me. Daytime, like this summertime. Oh. But I appreciate where I'm at. I'd rather be baking in the sun, sweating my balls off, hitting life sometimes. It's still better than being under someone's thumb, being around people who you know are manipulating you, but they're not really manipulating you because you already know what's happening, so you can steer around it without them even knowing it. They think they're manipulating. Until the day you finally say, hey, bitch, this is how it's actually happening, and then you just go your own way. And then they, imagine a sailboat who had this wind pumping that sail. You leave, no sail, and they'll feel a certain way. Feel like you did them wrong. Really, they've been doing you wrong since the beginning of time. And you leave, and now you feel like you did them wrong, and that's an energy thing. You took your energy with you, and they were either knew or didn't know it. The reason they seemed like they were having a good life is they were running off of your energy. You leave, they got nothing. They're back to squabbling, fighting with each other. You know, it's realizing that their life really isn't what they thought it was. And that, here's another thing. If you say you want to like have my life or have my understanding and everything, well, guess what happens? If you're really adamant about it and true about it, well, then all your shadows are going to come in. Your life's going to get shit in. Unless you were already kind of somewhere, you know. But I wasn't. When I started looking at spiritual stuff, my life went to hell. Even more hell than what it was already. You know, I was about to hang myself and shit, you know what I mean? So, but that's what happens. Your shadows come up because it's like, oh, universe is like, you want to be this? You want to learn this? You're going to have to go through your shit. You can't do it any other way. What happens is people want to do this and then they can't. And they don't go through all that shit. They just go back to what's comfortable. Leeching off people or doing this or doing that, whatever. But it's always happening. No matter what's happening, it's always what needs to happen perfectly. Every single time, no matter what. What are you going to do with it? No matter what. So we got this thing going on where we're kind of left. What else would we be doing? If we're consciousness, you know, and we're these beings, and we never started and we never end. What else there is there to do than to build our character and learn who we really are? Not learning who we really are as, it's like learning who you really are out of a blank slate of nothing. So you get this blank slate. Well, who are you? Well, throw them into this fucking shithole, and they're going to figure out who they are. And the shithole happens to be also the mechanism that powers the whole thing. It's also countless other games that are going on for people who already figured themselves out. It's also the holding ground for the masses who are just bumping around, doesn't know nothing. They're also probably the batteries that run the damn shit too. It all works perfectly, every piece in its place, every time. And so you get used to this, you start rolling things off your shoulder, and there's different ways you can do this, but if you're rolling things off your shoulder because you know this, the things I'm saying to be true, then you just get better and better and better unless crappy things start coming to you. If you're letting it roll off your shoulder because you're like motivated and you're just like in some kind of different attitude way, it's not, it won't work out quite as well, but I don't even know what that makes sense. It makes sense to me. That's all it is. So I know this should help. The way it works is people who are really ready and need to hear this stuff, they'll just get guided to it. That's what happened to me. I got guided to this stuff, and it's still happening. It's still happening. I get guided to the things I need to hear. And I'm getting enough wherewithal and knowing now that I can tell when I'm listening to stuff that's not there. It feels like, you know how maybe you get a good show and you're watching and you love it. Okay, that's that feeling. And then when you're watching something that's really not meant for you to hear anymore, it feels like you just scrolling through TV channels, you can't find anything. It feels like that. There's a difference. And then when it's something meant for you, it's like a good TV show that you watch. It feels like that. You know? So, anyway, this turned out 31 minutes, a lot longer than I wanted it to be. But it's the exact length it should be. So try to garner some appreciation for what you have, and try to build, remember, you have your now moment. That's all you have. Now. No matter what you think about the past, you're thinking about it now. You think about the future, you're doing that now. You only have your now moment, no matter what you fucking say. It's all you have. Prove me wrong. You can only be able to prove me wrong in the now moment. So, in that now moment, you're building and garnering momentums. Doing it by default, or doing it deliberately, or some kind of mix in between, bouncing back and forth, learning your way. And you want to build up some certain momentums, like momentums of appreciation. And you can get tricked, and you can know that that's what you're supposed to do, so you really try hard to appreciate. That's not it. Appreciation feels a certain way. It feels a certain way. You might think you're doing it, but you'll live another 30 lifetimes, you'll figure out you aren't doing it. Or another 10 years, or another 3 months, wherever you're at. So you build the momentum. You do your focus. You prune your tree. You prune your belief structures. You build up certain habits that are preferred through your focus. And the way it happens is once you get enough momentum behind them, then you don't actually have to really worry about it. They'll build themselves. A thought you keep thinking, a thought that you think, once a thought is thought, it thinks it out for itself, and it just goes and goes and creates more thoughts, keeps growing. They're like little entities. Think about Terrence McKenna with his machine elves and the way that they shift and modulate. They're just thoughts. We're thoughts. We're thoughts. Understand that. A thought, once it's out there, it will keep growing off on its own forever. Anyway, so prune your tree. Handle your momentums. Use your focus. Teach yourself about how powerful your focus is. I mean, your focus, it can be your vision. It can be what you're thinking about, what you're touching, your focus. What are you focused on? Day in and day out. Because you're building it stronger. That's why it's hard to get rid of addictions. Or it's hard to change belief patterns. You know, belief patterns are like addictions. It's the same thing. It's hard to turn that battleship with the orb. It's impossible. And once you get some good momentum going and build up a good little bonsai tree of thoughts, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And when people say it gets better, and there has some realness behind it, because they know, they've been to it, and it does get better. It does get better. And it'll fluctuate, because it was hot as shit today, and I was sitting there for a while. I'm like, God damn it, man. Just, you ever fall asleep in the heat, and you wake up and you're just fucking dead because you're so dehydrated. You can't even move because you're gonna cramp up. You sweated out all your life essence in the night because you're fucking in a fucking whatever. I still appreciate it. It's better than being under someone's thumb. It's better than being manipulated. It's better than freedom is worth all this. It's way better. And what is this testing me? Do you want to go back to my comfort? Just putting up with this bullshit because it's a little more comfortable physically? Right? No, I don't. No, I don't. I figured out what was going on a long time ago, and I was playing the long game. Playing the long game. No hard feelings. I love everybody. I was playing the long game. Once you figure it out, you just can't. You just can't jump in the face once you figure out what's going on. You gotta play the long game. And it's much better to be out here swiping my balls off, dying in my sleep, than being more comfortable, but knowing you got people thinking and manipulating and fucking with you every single day. Just little pins, little pokes, because they think it's going to. Maybe your old self will eventually crack, but not your new self. And that will get somebody. Little pokes, little prods every day for years. That by themselves are almost next to nothing. So subtle that if you try to tell someone about it, they would just be like, "What is wrong with you? Just don't ignore them or whatever." But it's not. It's anyone who knows what I'm talking about knows how the 1,000 leaf cuts can fuck you over. 1,000 paper cuts. You know what I mean? But sometimes people don't realize that the person that they're manipulating is more intelligent than them and actually, in a way, manipulating them, even though they're not doing it in a malice way. They're just responding in a whole way. And it might seem like manipulation, but it's really just them learning how to live amongst the thieves, the jokers, the people stuck in past ruts and belief systems that are on their way out. So many things that I know are going on that I would never tell them today. Because that's not use. That's not use. I don't get anywhere. I'm not trying to make anyone I'm not getting revenge. It's something that I do not do. I promote it better. Getting revenge is something that someone does when they get disconnected from source. That will feel like either anger, depression, annoyance, frustration, disrespect, and blah blah blah. That's disconnected from source energy, disconnected from God. And I don't even like using that word. I throw it out there just to show you how sincere I am. And so they'll go down the route of getting revenge because they get revenge and they bring someone else down to their level, and now you got some resonance that makes you feel a little better. But you're just a piece of shit, and you'll eventually realize it, and you will rise from it. Not a piece of shit in the way that you're doing anything wrong. You're right where you need to be. It's just factual. This is what you are. I used to be a piece of shit in some respects, in a way, years and years ago, of certain things. But I was never a manipulator or anything like that. At least not like so. Not that this makes me better or anyone. No one's better than anyone else. And I always want to tell people. I can tell people think I'm like kind of high and think I'm better than you, and I don't. If you think I think I'm better than you, that means you know that I'm better than you. You're just projecting it. Because I know that nobody is better than anyone else. That's not even a thing in the universe. It's all. What's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is that life is meaningless. And this is a good thing. We put the meaning in. That means no one's better than anyone else because it's like slaves. We put the meaning in. We get to create. So when you say life is meaningless, that is a grand gift. So we get to create the meaning in. It's a Bashar teaching right there, but I hold it behind that. It's very true. But this is my truth. My beliefs have changed my reality, and now my reality is coming through to show this to me. But you are living in a different reality where you might listen to this, you might live close enough to my reality where you can click on this video and look at it and be like, dumbass. go back your way and never think about it again. You're just reinforcing your own reality, and your reality is going to keep showing you what you believe. That is the tricky thing. Think about that. You get behind it. It's like a tautology kind of thing. It's a resonance kind of. Just really think about that. Your reality is showing to you and how it manifests everything. The moving evidence. You're moving. Your portion, your perspective, your piece of the moving image of eternity comes to you based on what you believe. Really think about that. You can see how we get stuck. It's tricky, but it's all perfect. It's all perfect. So, I'm not even high right now. It's just sober talking. So it's almost like my soberness is kind of where my highness would have been if I was smoking my weed almost. Right? Like I don't need to use the weed to get up to the template reality anymore. Or at least less. Right? I'm just there. All natural. Not like there's nothing wrong with smoking weed or anything like that. I'm definitely not stopping. But I've been put on a forced break. I'm not going to go into the details. Because, I don't need to. But it was exactly what I needed to show me how I was a little unbalanced, though. I was taking comfort over what I really needed. Even though I was very intelligent. I knew what I was doing. Once I figure out what's going on, And there's no hard feelings. No revenge, no hard feelings, because everything is right where it needs to be. And you're anchored in appreciation. Ooh, let me knock. You're anchored in appreciation and love. And these are just feelings inside your body. Resonance, non-resonance. I think that's all I got. I could probably keep going. But there's really nothing more to say. You create your own reality. Your thoughts are key. Your focus is key. Keywords are momentum and cycles. I'll give you all that and you figure it out. I got tons of music videos where it's just me playing guitar, but if you happen to actually listen to the whole video, I get into this thing an hour in where I'm spilling the secrets of the universe, you know what I mean? Or probably 80 of my videos of that, but I don't come at you right away. Cause I don't do it on purpose either. I just got high and started playing and it just eventually starts getting to a groove and it comes out. This is different. This is me completely sober and just wanting to speak my truth without speaking my truth in a way that really hurts anybody, but enough to what people will listen to it and know what the deal is. You know what I mean? I love all of you, no matter what's happening. I love all of you, and that's not some high thing to say like, oh, I can love all of you even though you're doing this to me. You gotta watch those games. One-upmanship. Alan Watts is about it. Everyone's playing the game that their game is better than your game. And that's kind of like I'm saying we create our own reality and that's the game I'm playing and it's better than your game, but not really. I know it's all. I have enough knowing to know that everything's in the right place. That's what people are doing. One-upmanship. Oh, who can bow the lowest, like the Japanese, or oh, God, it's so stupid. And you just gotta kind of wade through it for a while. And eventually you will be ushered into an era of the faces and places that vibrate to where you are. And you can be like, oh, there are real people out there. I don't want to diminish anybody. We're all real people. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good night. I'm just glad I got this fucking fan. And that it's cooling down now towards my time. Even though my butt is really sweaty right now. Sweaty. It's because my floor is still warm. It's a lot better now that this fan's been running over it, but so I got I'm not trying to show any of my goodies here. I finally got a new battery for my solar setup. Finally, I went AGM this time. Had a deep cycle for the longest time. And let me check my fan. I'm not used to. I have this big fan, and it's still on 4 bars, and I've been running it for a while. I'm not used to this. I'm so excited. And I got this big fan I can run off grid. I am so excited because I wouldn't have made this video if I didn't have this fan. A couple days ago or a week ago or something, I would have made this video. I'd been sweating. I'd just been dying. So I'd just want to sleep. I just want to just not move. Fuck. But I finally, it got so hot. I just didn't really have the money, but I was like, I'm gonna trust the universe. I'm just gonna spend it, and I'm fucking glad I did, because other shit happened to happen where I didn't have to spend money, like I didn't foresee. So it kind of like negated it, and now I have a fan I can run for who knows how long, because the battery's still good. I've been running it for hours. So this battery's way better than this deep cycle battery. It's lighter, it charges faster. No, it doesn't leak because it's not that type of battery. It's so fucking great. I'm so glad I did it, but it could have went either way. There's another teaching thing. I could have bought it and then felt buyer's remorse and really guilt that I spent that money, blah blah blah, and it wouldn't have worked out this way. Something else would have happened. But I was like, no, I'm smart enough now. The universe has got me. I'm gonna spend this money knowing that it's it's gonna work out for me. And it did. And then I have this video. I would have not have made this video if I didn't have this big ass fan running. I would have just be dying. Anyway, no harm done, guys. Really no harm done. But we could have been on a team. Everyone can tell how I'm helping out this place. And I'm not even being utilized. Imagine if you got your big ass heads out of the way, and we're actually work together. But I don't know if that's gonna happen now. So who knows what's gonna happen? We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate where I'm at, and I appreciate everything I have, and I'm just gonna keep doing this bang ass fucking job I always do, day in and day out, despite all the smaller minds floating around wishing it was otherwise. And this is not in a harsh, bad way. I'm just stating the facts. I love you guys.